eyes do not deceive you. We are putting hot dogs into the ramen today. This is the last creative idea I have with my homemade food meals. Homemade for the time being. I've done this like once before. I guess it's not that out there. I guess this is like a thing that people do still, but that's what we're doing. So nice. Just gotta get this all mixed up a bit. It's not easy. So we indeed have, three things of ramen, like right there. I'm trying to do the stirring off the table so it's not as creaky. We have 3 packs of ramen with 4 packs of flavoring. Very salty. Yeah, and we have 4 cut up hot dogs in here. It's very hot in here right now from the oven being on, or not the oven, the stove being on, and the steam in my face, and the stress of trying to take a thumbnail for this because it was starting to fall out of the thing. Whew. It is almost 2 in the morning today, May 21st. Yeah, this was like my last kind of fun idea that I had for things that I had to cook that I could do here, so I wanted to do it at night when it would be a good video, no distractions and whatnot, hopefully. And yeah, here we are. I'm gonna try to start doing more like out of the apartment kind of food here pretty soon. Starting even maybe today in a couple of, I don't know, there's still some videos that haven't gone up yet of like homemade stuff that I think that I've already recorded that blah 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 details, logistical details that do not matter. So yeah, again, I would do more stirring, but like in any other video, the table creaks a lot and it gets kind of annoying and it just becomes a bit of a mess to edit, sorry. So yeah, we've got 4 flavor packets, very salty ramen with 4 cut up hot dogs and 3 packs of noodles, and I already said all that, but I'm just saying it again. Forgot to clap. Cannot forget to do the clapping. This is my lunch, technically, for today. My breakfast was pizza rolls. This is my lunch. I'm going to pour this Diet Coke now, fresh cold can. Last fresh cold can in the fridge, except for that one that's holding up the noodles on the side right there. And then I'm going to dive into this before it gets cold. And I am very hungry, so let's hope it's good. No, I did just do a ramen video maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It wasn't like that bad of a video. The sounds are a little interesting because the chewing isn't always too prominent, but the little hot dog bits maybe will help. We'll see what happens here. Shall we just like get into this? I think we should. Just shifted the setup a little bit, just a little bit. Tried to get off the middle of the table a little bit more so it wouldn't creak as much. It's still gonna creak. And move the camera a little bit closer because it was like an inch further away than I like it to be. The table is a little further away too, but you know, I can only do so much. My hair gets all weird like this when it gets very hot. Whew. This takes effort. Shall we? To get a piece of hot dog onto the fork here. Bon appetit. Or something like that. Okay, sorry, I tried to do another impromptu thumbnail because I thought that looked good and I just made a mess. I'm sorry. Let's actually eat now, yeah? No more fucking around. That is good. I'm watching Summit play DayZ on my other monitor. One of my favorite things to do and watch is DayZ. Definitely with Summit doing it, and I just missed something important to be here for this video. You're welcome. Don't say I don't try. Don't say I don't try. Come on. If you were wondering, the hot dog I'm using in this, the Kogel's skinless frankfurters, I believe. I kind of blindly grabbed them. I have a bit of a range of whatever hot dogs I like. I don't really pay attention to which one I grab sometimes. But I was a little curious whether I would pick a good one to put into this that would blend well with the ramen flavor. And I think I picked a good one. These taste like they belong together, believe it or not, believe it or not, believe it or not. I think I did a good job. I have other stuff I want to ramble about, but I'll do it later in the video. I want to get through this while it's as fresh as possible. I'm trying to mix it so the hot dogs stop falling to the edge. Make it easier to grab. Ooh, we got a really good bite there. Should I try to take another thumbnail? Do you like this? You like this content? I did it again. I just ruined that bite to try to get a thumbnail. Alright, no more, no more. I actually do have one more good idea that I could do for like a homemade food thing. Involving ramen. It might be a while until I get to it. If I do, gotta go to the store and pick up some things and think about how I want to go about it. This is difficult because I have to like fork a hot dog onto the fork, and it makes it hard for the noodles to stay on. Like, oh my gosh. was this time, so obviously you see I'm using a Tupperware for this because I don't have like a bowl that's like a proper size for this kind of stuff, but I don't eat much stuff with bowls, but it was kind of the same deal in college. I had a very brief set, a very limited set of stuff to eat in. So I would eat out of Tupperware for large quantities of like macaroni and ramen and whatnot. And obviously in college I made a lot of ramen. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video, but the last ramen video, when I was making this in my kitchen, I haven't made ramen like before that video since I like moved to this apartment really. I've really barely made it in the last however many years. But when I was making it in this apartment for the first time, it like gave me like flashbacks to my college apartment, making it there, which was kind of fun fact. I made ramen for my ex-girlfriend like the night we were breaking up. Like there was like this, like I'm not gonna get too deep into this, but we like kind of knew what was about to happen, and she came over, and I was just like, and she, I don't know how it ended up happening, but I made her like ramen, and we like chilled and like ate it for a bit, and then we went outside and broke up for reasons that I don't even know. And that's like before we got back together, and then there was really a reason to break up. But you know, that's not the point. But I have this problem where I start telling a story and then I start telling another story. I just talked for like a whole minute about something that this story wasn't even about. But I had ramen at school one time in my apartment in a Tupperware. I want to think about how this happened. I remember there being a time where I made something at my house, put it in Tupperware, and then drove 2 hours to school with it. And it was something that I was thinking, like, I don't know if I can travel this. But I don't think it was ramen. Unless I'm, like, absolutely crazy. I don't think it was ramen. But basically what happened is I had a thing of ramen in a Tupperware, in a closed Tupperware. And it, like, somehow ended up behind my TV, and it just sat there unrefrigerated for a while. I don't remember how that happened. I don't know how I ended up with it in a closed container. I don't remember why I didn't throw it out or put it in the fridge at the very least if I thought I was gonna eat it later. I have no idea. But it was a ramen like the ones I normally make, about around this size, maybe in a square instead of a rectangle, but it had a lot of flavoring in it. It was pretty full. You don't even want to begin to imagine what that smelled like when I opened it, whenever I had found it and went to go like pour it out, scraped it into the garbage. Like I think I like opened it in my room, caught the scent, and was like, the Tupperware's gotta go too. I took the whole thing and I tossed the entire thing out because it was just over for that. I think that was bad. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that got where it got. Like, I'm thinking to myself, maybe it got behind my TV because I brought it from home. But I don't know why I would have done that, and I don't know why. And like, maybe I set it down and forgot about it. I don't know how that happened. There's another story about like a bad smell in my apartment, but let me get back to get this piece of hot dog here. I need to stop focusing all these bites on a hot dog so I can chow down on the noodles too. Guys, hot take. I don't know if it's because I put like so much butter in this. I'm not getting enough flavor out of it. I think I need to up my flavor amount, but I'm going to fucking die if I eat that much sodium. Gotta let it digest for a second. Let's get another can of Diet Coke out. So the other story, I'm just telling this, I know I like barely ate just now, but I need to let it sit for a minute. Let the appetite rev back up, but I had a mini fridge in my apartment in my bedroom, aside from the fridge in the kitchen. It had a couple of little snacks in there that I would like put them in there to eat them when like I didn't want to go downstairs and I didn't want to interact with my roommate or something. I never interacted with any of my roommates, I just didn't care about them, bro. I don't like being friends with men in college. Men are dumb. But I went home for a winter break one time, right? I think this was in might have been in 2020. I went home for winter break and we were gone for a long time. I think because of the pandemic and colleges kind of merged their breaks for Thanksgiving and Christmas because they didn't want you leaving and coming back. I was gone for three to 5 weeks. You have to unplug stuff in your apartment, right? I unplugged the fridge. I didn't unplug the fridge. I unplugged the power strip that had the fridge attached to it. And I forgot what the power strip was even attached to. And I forgot to empty the fridge, right? I had a little container, like a black base with a plastic top of cheese slices that were no longer refrigerated and were left to sit there for weeks. And so I came back from my break, and I immediately, when I got in my room, I realized I had an epiphany in that moment when I plugged stuff back in, like, oh shit, I didn't empty that, did I? And I opened it, and the thing, imagine the plastic top being on top of this, had like a clump of mold growing out of the side. And that was probably one of the worst smells I've ever smelled in my life. Screw that ramen. Honestly, that ramen was really bad too. They were pretty neck and neck. But I was just like, oh my fucking god, like, what do I do about this? And like, thankfully this was, pandemic time, so I had like masks and stuff, and I like put on a mask to like handle it. I don't even remember like what I did to get rid of it, but like I got rid of it. And that fridge was cooked. I needed to like, god, what did I even do about that? It wasn't cooked, we still have it somewhere. It's not, I didn't get rid of it, but like, how did I fix that? I might have like got one of those little pop air freshener things. You pop the tab on it, and I might have thrown it in there and left it in. I don't remember what I did about that. I'm getting old, bro, to the point where I'm like forgetting prominent memories from college. That was really bad. That was a bad mistake. Yeah, I don't know how that kind of thing keeps happening to me. I'm like a really smart person in like all the wrong areas. It's weird how that works. All the wrong areas. This stuff like really just kind of sits in your stomach, kind of heavy. It's kind of hard to eat a lot of. I don't know what I'm saying. Didn't always used to be that way for me. I'm gonna try to fish out the last hot dog pieces, and then I'll be done eating. I feel like I didn't do a lot of eating sounds in this one. remembering making this in college, or like ramen in general. I might have to be done now, actually. I really don't want to overeat. We'll see if I get a few more bites in a bit. I think I just eat it too fast. But when I think about, like, I think maybe you could tell, maybe it's why I'm able to do like so many food videos, because like comfort food is like a big thing for me. And in college it was a big thing for me because I didn't really have a lot of stuff that I enjoyed in college, like activity wise. I wasn't very social. Which wasn't my thing. I didn't really vibe with those kinds of environments in college. A lot of bad people, a lot of annoying things. I enjoy going to parties to some extent, but I mean, at what point are you just surrounded by a bunch of idiots? So like it was a big deal to me when I was like kind of in iffier moods, or like when I was in like happier moods to like get food, to like make myself very happy. Like when UFC would come on, I would always want to have some pizza, or like a big macaroni thing. I would get the big macaroni thing all the time, like the massive Stouffer's, the massive one. I'd love to make that. The ramen, or like those pepperoni, cheese, pretzel bread sandwiches I've made on here a couple times. There's the one time, how like sometimes you have a memory, or sometimes you have a moment and you don't realize you're gonna remember that moment forever, even though it's a very insignificant moment, but you still remember it for some reason. I remember a time where like, it was like a Thursday. I think I had no Friday classes in that semester. And there was a Thursday where I had gotten out of my last class. I got to my car. This one song came on that I really liked at the time. I was on my way to go to Arby's to get my comfort meal from Arby's, because at the time, getting like 12 mozzarella sticks and a thing of curly fries was like my comfort meal, like even more so than McDonald's at the time. That was the one, man. And it was also because that Arby's was actually at a really convenient little spot, like right on campus, like right off campus, I guess. I didn't have to drive on like a main road to get to it. I could drive through campus and sneak right into the drive-thru. And I would go, and I just remember that moment in the car, like, I like this song. It's the weekend. I'm going to get this food. That was like a high moment for me, because I was just that fucking miserable in college. Yeah, I didn't realize in that moment that I'd remember that, 5 years later, 4 years later, but I remember that moment, and every time I hear that song again, I remember it. I remember that moment, I remember that thought, and that's kind of like, I don't know if that's like a symbol of like how miserable I was, or just like how good of a moment it felt to have that time. I don't know. It is man, college, it's been a while. I graduated in the end of 2022, end of summer 2022. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. And like, man, that was a long time. Like, I'm forgetting like things that happened. I don't remember certain dynamics. I can't believe I lived with another person that I didn't even know for however long. Like, throughout all those years, damn near. Horrible dynamic to put people through, honest to God. It's just weird to think about that. I don't know how I did that. Yeah, that was weird. You learn, I think college is terrible. It's a terrible thing. It doesn't serve its purpose, but man, you learn a lot about yourself. To quite an extent. I want to eat more of this, but this is like probably one of the worst things you could overeat. You know what I mean? I feel like I'll explode if I eat this. I used to be able to down 3 packs of ramen pretty easily. I'm surprised that I can't do it right now, even with the little bits of extra hot dog in there. Yeah, this can is coconut still. That didn't sound too good. I'm not even gonna sweat that. Yeah, I wish I could have eaten more there, but I think this all, average watch time isn't that long on these videos, so if I just do a lot of the eating at the beginning of the video after 6 or 7, 8, 9 minutes, it doesn't really matter what I do, honest to God. I could start working on the fucking camera right now, and 20%, only 80% of the people that watch the video wouldn't even see it. So yeah. What else to say? I have another video idea I want to try to get done. It's breakfast-ish related. In like later today. It's 2:30 now in the morning. I'm staying up. If I can do it. We'll see. That's another thing. If I really keep eating this, I'm definitely not going to be able to do it today. I'd like to do it today or tomorrow at the very least, but either way. I'm trying to think of anything else to talk about. Yeah, this was a silly idea. That was good though. I'm glad I picked a good kind of hot dog to go with this. That could have, man, I can't even begin to tell you, like, man, I was so obsessed with Costco hot dogs a while ago, but I just could not even fathom eating them anymore, man. I was at Costco the other day and I just did not want them. It's just weird. Anyway. I don't want to talk your ear off anymore here. I hope this video wasn't too short. I hope the eating sounds were enough. I guess we had a good little bit of fun with making a mess and stuff a couple times there. I'm gonna get out of here. I do need to do some other edit. I gotta edit this video. I gotta edit a different video. I gotta do like tax stuff or something. I got a lot of stuff I gotta do.